Welcome, our dear friends, and Happy New Year! It's the beginning of 2023, and we would like to share this video with you showing 20 goals we set for last year and what actually happened. Because you can set goals and intentions, and something else might come along, and you have to choose. In our case, we think something better came along, and it threw off most of our plan. But did we achieve our dreams? What did we actually manage to do this past year, and what didn't we? And most importantly, what are your intentions for this year? We would love to inspire you to set some intentions. We do it all the time. And even though it doesn't always happen like we planned, we strongly feel that we are on the exact path that we want to be. An intention could be to build a root cellar, but the real dream behind it could be to be self-sufficient and feel close to one's ancient roots. And there are many ways to do that. So you can actually get the result without doing the exact project. But being clear on your intention will keep you on the right path. We hope you will enjoy this glimpse of our plans for 2022 versus what we actually did. Let's roll the film.
One of the projects for next year is to build a studio for Annie down here in the barn.
We didn't build a studio. We didn't even clear up the barn. In fact, we put even more things in there. The plan about me having a photo studio in Sweden changed along with some other things. But we do have some exciting plans for the barn. One of the highlights in 2022 was that Julian proposed to me. And we are planning on having our wedding in the barn. So, instead of building a studio, we are going to clean up in here. So we can make space for tables, flowers, lots of lights and candles, so we can have the wedding of our dreams.
Next year we will fix it up. We will fix the windows, they are broken, they are missing.
We actually did fix up some of the barn. We gave it a little red paint in the bottom and painted the windows. Julian finished off by painting the barn door black again, so it looks much better and will hold for another 10 years or so. This summer, Julian finally got his black roof.
Next year I want to paint it black on the other side as well, so all of the roof looks nice.
We did not paint the rest of the roof on the cottage. On the other hand, we built a whole new roof on the cabin, so that has to count for something. This is actually where they kept food in the old days. And I've been thinking that maybe this could be something.
It's about our root cellar, and she talks about what to do with it. And now we have decided we should do a root cellar out of it.
Yeah. We didn't build the root cellar, but we bought another root cellar that needs to be built. The reason it made sense to build the root cellar at the cottage was that we were going to spend 15 days a month in Sweden at the cottage. So we wanted to store a lot of food there and make it a part of our simple lifestyle. But two opportunities came along that changed those plans. The first one was that we bought the off-grid cabin in the spring. And we also got the chance to spend more time with Liam, Julian's son. So we ended up coming to Sweden on extended weekends and holidays instead of work weeks. I would love to make pickled vegetables, jams, relishes, chutneys, making vegetables from the summer and making them last all winter and having them in the root cellar. That is one of my dreams. It just makes sense to me. And somehow I think it feels for me to come more in contact with how things used to be. I must admit I haven't come that far in this project. It's still on my mind, and from time to time I pickle a little something, but I still dream of having a root cellar full of homemade jam and jars of everything from the garden. So we were on our way to the lake to take an ice bath, but we can't get out with the car.
No. Once a week we have been dipping in the lake, and now it is ice and snow, so it's cold but we don't want to break the chain, so we want to continue. Yeah.
But we really want to get better at it and even swim and stay down and do breathing exercises and get all of the benefits from taking these dips. We did continue this habit of taking a dip every Tuesday for the next month. But in May, Liam started coming to us on Tuesdays, and he wasn't so much into swimming in the cold water. So instead, we turned our Tuesdays into Family Activity Day. We each take turns choosing an activity, and it has taken us on some great adventures. Since we moved the office upstairs to this room, we have spent whole days up here.
It's not all done yet. We still need real desks. The ones we have now is actually a sofa desk.
Yeah.
And a dream for us was if we could build a bay window out there, terrace, and one in the other side. So we have the morning sun here and we have the sunset here. But
yeah.
It's a new roof and a pretty big project, so maybe not next year.
We did not build bay windows in the cottage. We did get a better table to work at, but we haven't really been working from the cottage since we bought the cabin.
We'll do a wheel where we will start in January. Talk about what we want to do the whole year. The start of the year it will probably something like ice bath. And skiing, and when we come closer to spring it will be preparing for the seeds that we will plant in our garden. And then we will go to summer where we will bike, we will bathe in the lake, and we will spend much more time outside. And then it will be fall and we will go more like
Picking mushrooms.
Our garden is probably full of vegetables and we will collect that. You will pickle some of it. Go out fishing. And then it will be winter again and we will start all over again.
The year ended up a bit different. The slow living activities and relaxing adventures turned out more like this. One of the things that we want to do in the next year is to make our own vegetable garden and grow our own vegetables. Although the vegetable garden wasn't placed where we planned originally, but on a whole different piece of land, I am proud to say that we did grow our own vegetables this year. We have already learned even more about which foods that we can find here, like birch sap and lingonberries and different kinds of mushrooms, but we want to learn even more.
I want to find a book that is describing all the fine things we can find in the nature here in Sweden. We
did buy books about gathering food from nature. We just didn't read them yet. This fall it felt super strange when Julian suggested that we go out to look for mushrooms. Walking in the forest, getting in touch with nature, while the cabin just stood there, not being built, was really weird. And it reminded me of the time before we bought the cabin, when we used to do things like this all the time. When we did the things that were the whole reason we came to Sweden. We've just been so busy with the cabin, and while the whole building process is an adventure, I'm also looking forward to the simpler experiences here.
We would like to have mountain bikes.
Yes.
So we can get out in the forest. Today our bikes is more like city bikes and they are not so good in muddy forest trails.
I would love to have more winter adventure toys.
The next thing we also want to the farmstead is ATV.
Yes.
That's something we have talked a lot about.
Yeah, that's on top of the list. We didn't get mountain bikes or snow toys, but we did get an ATV. Julian has wanted one for about 13 years, and now we finally have one. We use it a lot for carrying our luggage, moving firewood, and also to go on adventures into the forest sometimes.
Wildlife photography.
Yeah.
That's something that we haven't really done. That's something I really want to explore. catch the wildlife in their habitat here in Sweden.
We did do a little wildlife photography this past year. Not nearly as much as we hoped to, but the journey has begun. So my dream for the next year is to have more workaways. I did have more workaways, and the next one I'm hosting got sold out in 3 days. So the concept is really well received and the people joining create so much magic here. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. We would love to spend more nights outside in nature. Does it count that we kind of built a giant camping shelter and spent the first nights with a completely open gable? Other than that, we haven't spent time going on trips with our tent or kayaks. We've primarily been at the cabin. To practice that little freedom creative muscle the next year, I will see if I...
You will definitely bake some more.
I will bake some more. I just made some nut pies with apples. With these beautiful skies and the nature. Do you want to tell more about it?
Absolutely. And that's time lapses.
Mm-hmm.
It will be the night sky, it will be the sunset, the sunrise, days where there's a lot of wind.
Yeah, and beautiful colors in the sky.
Yeah.
We made more time lapses than ever this past year, but it was not of the night sky or the sunsets. I'm thinking about making a new time-lapse video again soon. So much has happened since the last one we uploaded. What do you think? Spend more time in Lønskjøld, our other cottage, so we can go out every day if we want to take care of the forest.
Yeah.
We honestly haven't been very much at our own forest in Lønskjøld, but we were by there in December to take care of the cottage. I started drumming and it was magic. I could just feel the vibrations in my body while drumming, and I had never tried it before. I did get my drum and I'm so happy about it. We can see on your comments that so many of you really dream of living in a place like this. Our long-term dreams for this place and this channel.
We want to find more houses here in this area to renovate them.
Big fat check on this one.
This is not something we will be doing in the next year.
Although we failed to not do it this year. I know Julian has been looking at more houses on Hemnet. Maybe in the future we will fix up another house and sell it or rent it out to one of you who dream of living here. That would be a double dream come true.
But my real dream is to make a fairy tale Christmas calendar. Like a fictional story that would unfold here in the forest.
We didn't make any Christmas calendar this year. This video you're watching right now was my idea of an advent calendar. But I decided not to stress this Christmas and instead make time for a cozy, magical and creative winter time for us.
We want to sum up everything that we have been doing and what is the real reason behind it all.
And that's how we want to build our life here in Sweden, to create that life that we want and what we like to have in our life.
We didn't do all the projects that we talked about at the cottage. But as we say, the reason behind the projects was that we wanted to build a life in Sweden. Little did we know that we would have our very own cabin that was much better suited for our dreams than our rental cottage. We are still building and we are loving every step of the journey. And we are so happy that you are here with us on the journey, following along. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now we would love to hear just one little intention that you have for this year. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!